Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Professor Namita Rajput, and I am teaching in University of Delhi for almost 3 decades, and in the Department of Commerce. So leadership, and the management and allied areas are my specialization. Even I'm teaching finance also because I'm postdoctoral research fellow in finance and PhD in international business and BCom, MCom from University of Delhi. I'm also MSc IT, and I've done a number of courses from Harvard and to update my skills in terms of leadership. And presently, also, I'm doing some online courses relating to leadership and development, just to have good insights about the latest theories and strategies relating to the leadership. Because when you talk about these days, the leadership plays a very pivotal role, especially in the pandemic situation and other aspects. So, what I feel is that to have the basics of leadership and the leadership styles and various paradigms of leadership and development is going to benefit the large number of people at large across the globe. So I will be initiating with this course from today, that is leadership and development. In University of Delhi also we have this particular paper just to update, because ultimately and eventually the people who are a part of the undergrad and the postgraduate, they have to meet the reality that is the corporate world. So they have to meet different kind of people, they have to work with them. So they must first understand what kind of a leader they are facing, what specific qualities they have, what particular, the characteristics they have. So it is really going to benefit the students also. So I will, because today it was fixed, so probably in the next class, I will ask my, the college students also to join, and probably all the participation can also share the link of, because this is a very general topic, not specific to any particular field or whatever, because this is a general thing which everyone has to face entire globe. And I will try and my best put in my best efforts to give you the basic insights of this. And today only I have another lecture lined up at about Indian time 7:30. After this lecture, immediately I will have a leadership and development lecture with some other university in Chennai, in Delhi, in India. So I think now we have about 5 people. Can we start, Her Highness?
Yes, please start. You are recorded. They will lose nothing because it will be online also.
Okay,
So no problem.
great. So, the concept which I'm going to share today is the leadership and development. So, when you talk about the leadership and development, this is one aspect uh, which everyone should understand. Actually, to gain the theoretical and the practical knowledge, leadership skills, styles, and strategies in the contemporary world has become, basically so successful leader, how to become a successful leader, to gain the theoretical and the practical knowledge to evaluate the various leadership styles and the strategies in the contemporary world, so as to become a successful leader and effective employee in the organization. So we have to understand the basic insights about the leadership and development. So we will be talking in this particular course about the group dynamics, the group decision making, basically to develop the acumen to utilize the leadership and team building concepts, the tools and the techniques to handle the complex organizational problems at the different levels, basically to recognize the dynamics of the group decision making, to understand the working of the various teams, and to evaluate the role of a women leader, and using the various social media platforms as effective means of communication in the contemporary world as a leader. I will be also talking about the women leadership and the basic insights about the women leadership, because this is the need of today. And if I don't in my world, actually, There are so many empirical evidences to this effect that the women leadership has shown the amazing results. And the countries like Norway, they are the very good examples of increasing the women leadership, in the top positions like the executive or the chief managing director, etc. Because if you see the overall position of the women leadership, it is quite low. So I will be specifically giving one lecture on the women leadership and how she's denied the particular role of the prime leadership or the top leadership positions, how the groups are formed, what are the basic dynamics of the group, the various paradigms, frontiers of the leadership aspects. So there's a narrative that a group of staff and their leaders are tasked with clearing a path through dense jungle on a remote island in order to reach the coast. So whereas estuary makes an ideal location for a port. So the leaders organize the labor into the productive units and oversee the distribution and the use of the capital assets. Progress is excellent. So the leaders continue to track and review the progress, adjusting when necessary to ensure that progress is sustained and the productivity is improved where possible. So then in all the commotion and the movement, one person climbs a nearby tree. So the efficacy narrative is from the top of the tree, the person surveys the scene and he yells down to a gathered party below. Incorrect decision. So it is adapted from the Stephen Conway 2004 and Simon, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful Management. So management is doing things right, whereas leadership is doing the right thing. So there's a basic difference between the management and the leadership, which I want to make a mention again, that management is doing things right and leadership is doing the right thing. So here lies the essence of a good leadership. So there's a question which comes to our mind, that why leadership is there. Leadership takes on many dimensions and encompasses many definitions. Organizations of all kinds focus on the leadership as a vital concept necessary for success. Everyone talks about leadership. Everyone says that they want leadership. Everyone prioritizes leadership. But why is leadership important? Leadership listens. Leadership inspires. Leadership motivates and gives a direction, a common goal to aspire to. Leadership, especially the entrepreneurial leadership, is increasingly in demand as weighty global issues require entrepreneurial leaders to seek basically the creative solutions and harness the power of people to reach those common goals. So when you talk about a corporate, we have some common goals. And here the role of the leadership is there. That is, a good leader will direct everyone to achieve those common goals. So the way they harness their power, the way they motivate the people is very, very important, because leadership is about doing a right thing. So leadership matters, and it matters today more than ever. And the reason is known to everyone because of this pandemic situation. The leadership role is very, very important because we have, encountered a situation which we never anticipated. So, the teaching platforms, the online education, the corporate leadership, everything has gone a sea change. And, everything has, catch the concept of E, that is e-leadership, e-recruitment, e-management, and everywhere the electronic and the digital media is there. So the old ways, the course which we were running about the leadership of the yesteryears has gone, it's completely lost its meaning. But the old way has run its course, and the leadership today must be based on the particular purpose, the particular inspiration, the caring and compassion. So all these, four aspects which I have just addressed, that is, the leadership must be there because we have to achieve a particular purpose. They inspire the people because it is very important for us as a leader to inspire our subordinates. And not only this, we have to even care for the people who are working with us, who are with us. Not only this, you have to show a level of compassion, a level of commitment, a level of conviction. All these things together, they form a cup of leadership. So I rarely speak of a leader as simply someone who holds a position of authority. According to Taylor, instead, he focused on the sustainability of influence over time and how that occurs. So, when you talk about a true leader, the true leaders, he says, are able to maintain the power and the influence because they genuinely are supported by the willing followers. The key for positive results of that influence and those followers, though it is the purpose of their objectives and how the leaders, they pursue them. Leadership, can come naturally, but it is, not necessarily innate. It's very important for us to understand. Leadership can be learned through leadership development programs, where leadership skills are created, they are developed, they are improved, through the, we can say, the regular practice, through regular and rigorous education, by giving some important case studies that how they have to behave, how they have to, solve this particular problem. So problem solving skills, taking the institution to the top, how they can, do it, how they can practice it. So when you talk about a leadership, the skills can be developed by all these, practices, rigorous education, case studies, etc. So the skills can help demonstrate why leader is important. And of course, the good leadership is defined by modeling the ethics and inclusiveness, and guided by a strong moral campus. And, the overall, with a good leadership, you can create a vision and can motivate the people uh, to make it a reality. So, so with a good leadership, you can create a vision and can motivate the people to make it a reality. The leadership can manifest itself in many ways. But the most effective way to show the leadership is by focusing on the positive solution. Now, this is very important because if the leader always show a negative connotation or say take a punitive action by the followers if they are not following, or something like this, or if there's a problem, and the leader is always showing some negative connotation to solve the solution, this is not done. Because we are living today in a world where the spirituality, where the good leadership skills in terms of the positive paradigms are taken care of. And this is a prime lesson when you talk about the leadership of today, that they should manifest, they definitely manifest in many ways, but to manifest in the positive way and to show the positive solutions is very, very important. So leadership is one of the most important function of the management. Leading involves directing, influencing, and motivating employees to perform. Now, I'll give you a very, very important definition given by Peter Drucker. So, leadership is shifting of own vision to the higher sides, the raising of man's performance to higher standards, the building of man's personality beyond its normal limitations. So basically, the leadership is about, when you shift your vision and you make your sight broader, deeper, higher, and what your perspective is as a leader. Your perspective as a leader is that you want to raise the standards of performance of everyone who's a part of or with whom you're associated with, and they are under your band. So you have to build the personality of a man, and without any boundaries on the higher and higher perspective. So basically, we have seen two, three definitions, and we can derive who the leader is. So, a leader is one who leads, a leader is one who guides, a leader is in charge of command of others, the one who heads a political party of an organization, one who has an influence or the power, especially of a political nature. So, after understanding the who the leader is, we can just deduce to the characteristics of a good leader or the leadership. Then a leader should be having an empathetic attitude, that is, seeing the attitude from the other's point of view. He should be consistent in his behavior, that is, not erratic, that one way he's following this problem solving skills, another he just hops and moves to the other. So he should be honest, he should show a direction to the rest of the people, should have good communication skills, because communication is the essence of management, and short communication, crisp communication is the essence of effective leadership. So he should be very effective in terms of guiding, in terms of giving directions, in terms of guiding them as a torch bearer for the organization. So it needs the support from all, and also they should assume the obligation also, because on one hand you have a authority, so on the other hand the obligation also has to be completely fulfilled. So we can say that a leader by its meaning is one who goes first and leads by example. That is, you should preach what you can practice. This is a very important line. So a leader should, practically follow this line. That is, a leader by its meaning is one who first goes and leads by example. That is, whatever he wants to teach, he should practice first, because all good values, they emanate from the top. So the leader must motivate others to follow him, and if the people are not motivated at all, so definitely there will be a problem, and the people will not be able to do what they want to do, because they are not motivated. There's not no zeal to work. So a good leader inculcates that kind of a habit, or say a level of a motivation where there's a internal transformation, in terms of that they feel like doing their work, or they feel like fulfilling their obligation, etc. So their approach is not merely transactional, their approach is actually transformational. So to be a leader, a person must have a deep rooted commitment to the goal that he will strive to achieve. So let us now discuss the characteristics of a leader one by one. So there is a proactive management and there is a reactive management. So let me elaborate this. An outstanding leader is still 3 steps ahead of the competition, working to master his or her own world in order to prevent the issues from arising. So he should be proactive, and as a good leader he should master his skills, his master his own world, so that the whole world follows him. So this is what is called as a proactive and reactive management. That is, the outstanding leader is actually he should be ahead of any kind of a competition, working he should put all his efforts together, put his all work in one direction, that is to master his own world in order to prevent the issues from arising. The second is your adaptive and flexible. What do you do when you are confronted with an unusual or an unpleasant situation. As successful leader can respond to new environment and the circumstances to the best of their abilities. Then we have an effective communicator as one of the characteristics of a leader. As a leader, you must pay attention a lot and you must be able to put in the effort to comprehend others' needs and desires. A good leader asks a lot of questions, thinks about all of the possibilities, and then leads in a right direction. So, if he's not able to communicate, he's not able to comprehend and understand the needs of the others, then definitely this is a serious problem. So, as a leader, you must pay attention on the effort, a lot of attention to have a good communication skill and the ability to comprehend others. And a good leader can ask a lot of questions, thinks about all kind of possibilities, then leads in a right direction. Then one of the prime characteristics of a leader is that he should be respectful. uh, you know uh, Others with he should respect others with ultimately earnest respect, and because respect, if you respect others you gain respect. If you do not respect others, you will not gain respect. So he should be respectful in his in their way. Then quite confident, that is, a leader should be very confident in his comprehension, in his way of working, with his humble intentions, etc. The good leader must be having a quality and a characteristics of being courteous. Respect is earned by treating people with respect, and be ecstatic, that is, it is infectious to be excited. So people are likely to follow a leader who is enthusiastic, who is inspiring, basically, about a particular cause. Then a leader characteristics is about his open mindedness. This is very important. So, when making a choice, make an effort to consider all possibilities if you want to be a good leader. You should not limit yourself or limit the possibilities. Explore it. Consider all possible possibilities which you can explore to come on to the best one. And this is how the leader, should behave. A good leader will consider the opinion of all the stakeholders, all the people who are closely linked and associated with that organization, in order to improve the situation as a whole, because they will also feel involved. They will also feel a part of it. So it's a kind of a participatory approach, we can say. Then resourceful. So they should utilize the resources available to you, and if you do not know the answers to something, find out by asking the questions. The leader must create access to the information, and it should be rewarding. An exceptional leader will recognize the efforts of the others and reinforce those actions, and we all enjoy being recognized of our actions. Then about the well-educated knowledge is definitely a power. So work to be well-educated on community policies, procedures, organizational norms, etc. And further, your knowledge about the issues and the information will also increase your success in leading others. So if you have a complete knowledge and you're well educated about not only your organizational issues, but the overall issues as such, about all the, domains which can affect your decision making, which can affect your organization. So if you have the knowledge and you're well educated and you have, a catch on these situations, which you can anticipate that I should have the knowledge of taxation, I should have the knowledge of, an economy, about the banking, about the legal aspects, about the political scenario. So a good leader must have at least the basic knowledge, and definitely a deep knowledge about your own organization. This is definitely a mandatory requirement to be a good leader. Because if you do not know your own procedures, your own laws, your own norms, how will you take the decisions? And decision making, good decision making, problem solving skills are primarily considered as pivotal. It is definitely a pivotal and critical for a leader. Then a good leader must be open to change. A good leader will take into account all the point of views and will be willing to change a policy, a program, the basically the cultural tradition that is outdated or no longer beneficial to the group as a whole. So he should be open to change. A good leader should be flexible in his approach, and should not be considering all the outdated policies and the programs. He should be open to new challenges, because the world in which we are living is actually a dynamic world, so we should not be limiting anything for that matter. Putting a boundary for anything is not at all the need of today. You should be open and have an approach which is very broad, very flexible, and open to change. So definitely, the one of the good characteristics of a leader is also that he should be taking a feedback. Feedback improves a person, and this is definitely very, very good. So how do people feel about your leadership skills? Your skill sets is very important for you to understand, because probably you are thinking that you are the best, and the people in the organization are very unhappy about your strategies, your policies, your programs, your way of working. So I think taking a feedback is definitely going to improve the leadership skill sets, and you can improve yourself. And these are important questions that a leader needs to constantly ask about it. That is, view a feedback as a gift to improve. Next is your evaluative. Evaluation of the events and the programs is very essential for an organization or a group to improve and progress. So, an exceptional leader will constantly evaluate and change the programs and the policies that are not working. See, if you, as a leader, if you've made any policy and if it's not working well, completely change it. If you have made a program or a strategy that in the present scenario has got no meaning, like for example, we have made so many plans for 2020, 2021, they all have failed because of this pandemic situation. So an exceptional leader should constantly evaluate, update the policies, and you know make it in the present realm, which is practical, and follow the policies which can actually lead the organization to a good path. If the things are not working well, through the evaluation process you come to know that the things are not going in the way they should move, completely change it. And this is one of the prime characteristics of a good leader. Then the leader must be organized in their way. So are you prepared for the meetings, presentations, events, and confident that people around you are prepared and organized as well? So a good leader must put in best efforts for the organization of the organization. If the things are not organized, if they are not in a orderly manner, so things can go haywire, and the organizational output can be affected, severely affected. So you should prepare for the meetings in a very meticulous manner. Make your presentations very good, events very good, confident, and the people around you should be well prepared and organized, and you should lead them, be a torchbearer for them. And next is your consistency. The confidence and respect cannot be attained without your leadership being consistent. It's not that today you are very soft and tomorrow you're very harsh with people. You should be very soft, consistent in your approach. Only then the people will have confidence and respect for you. So people must have the confidence that their opinion and thoughts will be heard and taken into considerations. Then the next characteristic is a delegator. An exceptional leader realizes that he or she cannot accomplish everything on their own. The leader will know the talents and interest of the people around them, thus delegating the task accordingly. Now, to become an effective delegator is also very important for a leader. You cannot just delegate anything to anyone. If I'm good in marketing, so I should be assigned the work according to my interest, my set of skills. If I am, alien to a particular subject and I'm being delegated with the data security, so I do not have any kind of a knowledge, ABCD about the data protection. So a good leader should map the particular qualities, interest, set of skills, and then he should effectively delegate. So this is also very important characteristics of leader. Then we also think about the characteristics of a leader when you talk about the initiative. A good leader should work to be a motivator and initiator, and he or she must be a key element in planning and implementing new ideas, programs, events, etc. So we have just seen the different characteristics of a leader. So it is very important to have a small recap. That is a proactive approach of a leader, adaptive and flexibility in his approach. He should be a good communicator. He should be respectful as far as the others are concerned to earn respect. He should be confident, courteous, ecstatic, open-minded, resourceful, rewarding, well-educated, open to change, interested in his own feedback to improve, your previous work, because feedback gives you a reflection of where you stand actually, and always drives you on a good path. Evaluative, organized, consistent, good delegator of responsibilities, and the initiative. The leader should work to be a motivator, initiator, and it must be a key element in the planning and implementing of the new ideas, the programs, the policies, events, etc. Now, just moving on from the basic characteristics of a leadership to the importance of leadership in the business. This is very important. So, any organization's success is largely dependent on its leadership. No organization can function effectively without good and effective leadership. An organization is formed with the goal of achieving the specific goals through a human group, and it is then necessary to maintain the power over the human group. Now, if you talk about, say, the market components, it has been said are inactive without leadership. Because what leader can push the things or mark the changes, nobody else can do it. So the strong leaders can help an organization increase the efficiency and accomplish the business objectives, while ineffective leadership can harm the productivity and jeopardize the company's health. Leadership is not a single trait that fixes all the ills. Rather, it is a set of factors that must be present in order for an organizational leadership to be deemed adequate. This is very important. And it's also worth noting that there are a variety of effective and unsuccessful leadership types. The fact that one manager is cheerful and the other is polished does not suggest that one is more productive than the other. Consider how well each manager does the following to score the leadership skills of the managers in your organization. So, why leaders are important in the organization? Because they provide the guidance. This is probably the most important point as far as the leadership in the business is concerned. The managers should be able to provide meaningful guidance and advice for the employees. If needed, the managers should be able to show the employees how to perform their job task more effectively and efficiently. The managers should also be able to provide the support that employees need to grow and develop. Next is your basically, it motivates the employees. A good leader motivates the employees. The good leaders motivate the employees to work hard and meet the organizational needs, one means or the other. Some leaders may inspire employees to work hard, while other managers may cause the employees to fear the consequences of not working hard. Both the methods work to drive motivation, and one may work better than the other depending upon the manager's specific styles and the culture of the organization. So, the next is a good manager initiates the action, and by planning out who will perform what task, when the task will be completed, and by what means the task will be accomplished. So, without clearly defining a plan to complete the business goals and a good communication between the managers and the relevant parties, an organization will fail no matter how strong the other aspects of managerial leadership are. So, the managers should be able to initiate the fast action to utilize the human resources to complete the business task. Then is a very important point as far as the leadership in business is concerned. The leaders, they build the morale and improves the satisfaction level. This is probably one of the important points about the leadership. The good leaders, they drive the employee productivity by building the confidence in employees and creating a positive environment that is conducive to productivity. So when the employees they feel stressed or say distracted, the job performance and the job satisfaction they suffer. And when the managers build their morale, it can also help to improve the retention, increase the employee job satisfaction, and may favorably impact the bottom line. Then is the good leaders, they coordinate the employee needs and the organizational needs. One of the most important thing that every manager must do in order to be very effective is to align the employee needs and the organizational needs. The employee talents, interest, and scheduling needs can all either benefit or detract from an organization depending on how well a manager works to align these things with the organizational needs and goals. So the best manager will find a way to effectively align each employee needs and talents with the organizational goals. And the next important point, as far as the importance of leadership in business is concerned, is about delegate the responsibilities. It is possible for the leaders to delegate too much, and it is possible for the leaders to delegate too little. So there has to be a judicial and a rational approach as far as the delegation of responsibility is concerned. Strong leaders know what to delegate and how to handle so that the organization is as productive as possible. So, the adequate delegation is also necessary for maintaining the employee satisfaction, as the employees may take advantage of a manager that delegates too little and resent a manager that delegates too much. So the next is it helps the followers in fulfilling their needs. A good leader helps it. A good leader establishes a kind of a personal relationship with the followers, and they try to fulfill their needs. So why does the human group follow a particular person? It can be said in reply to this question because that particular person provides them the security and the opportunities to earn the wealth, gives them the right to work, and tries to understand their feelings. And that is why people follow them. Definitely, a person takes care of, the various, the needs which I've mentioned relating to, and they willingly accept them. So consequently, they work in complete dedication and enthusiasm. Here is very important that introducing the required changes. These days, the business environment is changing rapidly. And in order to face the changing environment, many changes have got to be introduced in the organization. And since the people already happen to be under the influence of a leader, he readily makes them agree to implement these changes. And in this way, the possible opposition to the change is eliminated with the strength of a leadership ability. It also helps in solving conflicts effectively. A leader can solve every type of a conflict, employee versus employer, employee versus employees, and employee tense relationships. So a good leader can solve any type of a conflict very, very effectively under the weight of his influence. The leader always allows his followers the freedom to express their views, and that is the reason that he easily understands the reality of a conflict. And in this way, by understanding the nature of the conflict, he tries to provide timely solution and minimizes the possibility of adverse results. Then, as it helps in training and development of the subordinates, a good leader provides a very helpful uh, position and a help in terms of training and development of his subordinates. And he provides them with the information about the modern techniques of the work. And not only this, he makes it possible for them to be good leaders in the future and building a very healthy work environment. Management is all about how to get people to work for you and achieve your targets, and a very healthy and a positive environment. It is of utmost necessity in this case. And effective work environment is also effective, a steady and a stable growth. And irrespective of the time and the place and the person, people are drawn towards the same leadership characteristics. So this is very, very important for you to understand that it builds a very, a good leader builds a very healthy work environment. And exceptional leader and a competent leader is one that is an exceptional and a competent leader should have the knack to maximize the full potential of the people and to be instrumental in making people realize the difference they are making by their contribution. He needs to be very supportive to the entire team efforts, leave no room for destructive criticism, acknowledge and praise his team members, and when they come up with good ideas and improvements. A leader endowed with these leadership qualities ensures a significant growth in the organization's revenue as well as the reputation and proves to be a valuable asset for the company. The next important point is a positivity. A leader doesn't focus on the negative and doesn't let anyone else do it either. So he's an optimistic person, inspire others by letting them know the importance of their contribution towards the organization. And this is the reason why doesn't get intimidated by the problems, but work tirelessly in finding out the basic solutions, the problem solving skills and focusing on working towards it. Then a good leader has to take decisions. So decision making is again a very important paradigm, owing to which we have importance of leadership in the business. The leader is one who takes decisions and plans the strategies spontaneously and implements them within a short period. He not only works out the solutions to a problem, but encourages others to help him achieve the goal. He sees the bigger picture, chalk out a plan, and move towards it. So having this kind of a discussion, the last topic which I'm taking now is a difference between a leader and a manager. Leadership and the managership are two synonym terms in an incorrect statement. Leadership does not require any managerial position to act as a leader. This is one thing which everyone should understand, because leadership is owing to his acts, owing to his personality, owing to his skill sets. He doesn't need any kind of a managerial position to be acting as a leader. On the other hand, a manager can be a true manager only if he has got the traits of a leader in him. By virtue of his position, the manager has to provide leadership to his group because of his particular official position. And a manager has to perform all the five functions like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, controlling. Leadership is a part of these functions. So it is owing to the particular position in the organization that the manager has to play as a leader. Leadership as a general term is not related to managership. A person can be a leader by virtue of his qualities. For example, the leader of a club, the leader of a class, the leader of a welfare association, the leader of a social organization, etc. So, therefore, it is true to say that all managers are leaders, but all leaders are not managers because of their official positions. A leader is one who influences the behavior and work of others in group efforts towards achievement of specified goals in a given situation. On the other hand, manager can be a true manager only if he has got the traits of a leader in him. The manager at all levels are expected to be the leaders of work groups, and the subordinates willing carry instructions and accept their guidance. So a person can be a leader by virtue of all the qualities in him. So, if we take some basis, so on the basis of origin, we can say a person becomes a manager by virtue of his position. So this is the origin of becoming a manager. Whereas if we see the origin of becoming a leader, the person becomes a leader on the basis of his personal qualities to lead the organization, to take some prime decisions, to go in for a problem solving situations, etc. Then the basis of the leader and the manager, if we say the formal rights, the manager has got the formal rights in an organization because of his status. And the rights are not available to a leader at all. Then, if you see the basis of the difference between a leader and a manager as followers. So, the subordinates are the followers of the managers, whereas the group of employees whom the leader leads are his followers. So, there's not a particular set of people that would be called as his followers, it could be any set of employees. But for mandatorily, when you talk about a manager and the followers, the subordinates are the followers of managers. Next basis is your function. The manager performs all the five functions of management, whereas the leader influences the people to work willing for the group objectives. If we see the necessity, the manager is very essential to a organization or to a particular entity or a concern. Whereas the leader is required to create the cordial relationship between the people working in and for the organization. If you take the stability as a basis, the managers are more stable, whereas the all leaders, when you talk about the stability part, managerial positions are more stable and leadership is temporary. If you take the basis as mutual relationship as a difference between the leader and a manager, all managers are leaders, whereas all leaders are not managers. If you see the basis as accountability, the manager is accountable for self and subordinate behaviors and performance, whereas the leaders have no well-defined accountability. If you talk about the concern as a basis, a manager's concern is organizational goals, whereas a leader concern is a group goal and the manager's members' satisfaction. Then we have the followers. The people follow manager by virtue of job description, whereas people follow on the voluntary basis in case of a leadership. The basis, if we see that role continuation, a manager can continue in office till he performs his duties satisfactorily in congruence with the organizational goals. Whereas in case of a role continuation as a part of difference between a leader and a manager, in the leadership position, a leader can maintain his position only through day-to-day wishes of the followers. And if we see the basis as sanctions, the manager has command over allocation and distribution of sanctions. Whereas in case of a leadership, a leader has command over the different sanctions and the related task records. So these sanctions are essential of informal nature. So this was all from my side today. So probably we will take the different dimensions of the leadership and the other aspects in the next class. So I'm open to questions if you have any.
Yes, Dr. Namita. I have just a question, please.
Yes.
Can we consider that a manager is like a salary of a system, and a leader is different? And when you said leadership is temporary, is it depending on his followers?
Yes. What you are saying is, I agree to that. When you talk about a manager, because managerial positions are very formal, owing to that particular positions, he, attains all his authority, responsibility, obligation, and other status. So the people who are working under him are called as subordinates, and the subordinates they are bound to follow their managers. Whereas leadership position is not formal at all, and anybody who has got particular traits or the followers feels that the individual can lead the organization in say for example in the pandemic situations, a particular doctor takes a lead in saving the lives. So and just an example that it is like a temporary if you're able to because when you talk about a leader, you do not require any kind of a formal position. So if the followers feel that this person can lead us or can fulfill our aspirations or the unfulfilled wants and the wishes, so they take an individual as a leader and not a leader. So if they have a very positive perspective in that regard, that individual will be considered as their leader. So in the leadership, the situation changes very quickly. So that is why we call it as a temporary situation. In some aspects, some people can emerge as a leader. In other dynamics, the other people can emerge as a leader because it is not relating to the official position or it doesn't emanate from a specific position, etc. So that is what my argument is.
Okay, but I need to understand one thing. When you are a leader, it's something that you have within you. So you are not even aware that you are a leader. And for I just want to see for example, my vision of a leader. You will tell me what you think about that. A true leader is someone who is making leaders, not followers. Otherwise, he cannot be leader.
Yes.
So, and a manager is someone who is it's another form of leader, but without the system of a company under a system, he cannot He cannot be a manager. He cannot lead. A manager cannot lead out of the system. And
See,
a leader. I mean, without a company or a system like when we speak about even a government, the president of state is not really a leader because he is under a system where he is leading. So he is managing a team. But a leader will be the one who is without knowing anything. He's giving his advice, know exactly what he wants to do, and he is leading by his example, not following a system. For example, when we say a manager is obeying to the law of the system of the company, the regulation of the company or regulation of any government. So he is managing a team. But a leader is someone who is giving his vision, and he's leading by naturally without any being aware that he has followers, because he's creating leaders also. What you think about that, Dr. Namita?
yeah, I truly endorse your beautiful thoughts, and this is actually the scenario is all about. A good leader is one who actually motivates the people, inspires them, and create as the future leaders also, which is very beautifully remarked by you. Because he does not have to follow a particular formal structure as the managers have to. So he leads by examples, and that is why he creates the circumstances that people automatically start following his ways. And because actually when you talk about the leaders of 21st century, they are transformational in approach rather than transactional in their approach. So just doing for the heck of it can be a part of a managerial position, whereas transforming people from within, creating a zeal of taking the responsibility and shining bright from inside, and taking the right decisions, is where the role of a leader actually is. And the 21st leaders, they transform the people from within, creates a zeal of understanding others, empathetic attitude, inspirational, motivational level of comprehension, level of conviction, following a particular system. So all aspects, if we see in one frame, are the basic functions of a leader rather than a manager. So what I feel is that when you talk about the difference between the two, as I've highlighted so many differences of a manager and a leader and the basis of this. So what I feel is that the manager must act as a good leader. So if we want to take the corporate to the next level or to the best possible extent or the heights, then the leadership qualities, he should try. Because nowadays I've already addressed that we have so many courses coming up to understand the dynamics of leadership, and the different strategies, the scientific decision making, the problem solving skills, the complexities, the case studies, so they can inculcate those habits into them, and emerge as a good leader. So leadership position, I feel, is more important than a managerial position, because managerial position has to be there, because the organization is bound in a particular hierarchy and a structure which we cannot deviate. But the leaders can change anything, anywhere, anytime. And this is what a true leader is. And my view is relating to your Success World Academies that you are becoming as an education leader across the globe, because of the vision you have, because of the futuristic approach you have. Imparting, connecting globally people is one of the very beautiful initiative which no one has taken so much of efforts before, like our queen has taken. So my salutations and greetings to the academic leader of today, that is Queen Nadia. So my salutations and greetings for your
Thank
beautiful.
you so much, Dr. Namita. Thank you so much.
So can I leave because I have another. It's
Yes,
already.
please. Yes.
It was beautiful connecting with all of you. So my salutations and greetings to everyone, and see you next week. We will be informing you the time, etc. next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was really awesome. I
Thank you.
salute the great professor that you are. And
Thank
I'm
you.
very blessed to have you with us in Success World One Academy. Thank you
Always.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.